Hello, welcome everybody to this meeting of the Constitution Committee. I'm Ewan Walters, Senior Democratic Services Officer. We've had some apologies today from Nick Rushton, Richard Shepherd and Michael Mullaney, and substituting for the two Conservatives we've got Louise Richardson and Mrs Pam Povsnett. Thank you very much. So I'll move on to the first item, which is appointment of chairman. Mr Rushton was nominated at the County Council meeting as the chairman of this committee. Can I have a proposer and seconder that he be appointed chair for the year, please?
I'll propose Mr Rushton.
Happy to second Mr Rushton.
Thank you very much. Everybody happy with that? Yeah, okay. So Mr Rushton is appointed chair for the rest of this council year. As he's not here for this meeting, we'll move on to the second agenda item, which is appointment of deputy chairman. I know Mrs Taylor was nominated at the County Council meeting. Do we have a proposal for Mrs Taylor?
Yeah, happy to propose Mrs Taylor. Happy to second that.
Thank you very much. Everybody in agreement with that? Thank you very much. Okay, so I'll now hand over to Mrs Taylor for the rest of the meeting.
Thank you, Ewan. Item 3 is minutes of the meeting held on the 30th of April, pages 3 to 4. Is everyone happy with the minutes? Yeah. Item 4 is question time. There's been no questions, and item 5 is questions asked under standing order 7.3 and 7.5. There have been no questions submitted. Item 6, to advise of any other items which the chairman has decided to take as urgent. There were no urgent items. Agenda item 7 is any declarations of interest. None. Okay, on to item 8, statement of accounts, annual government statement and pension fund accounts 2022, 2022. I'll hand over to Declan first.
I'll pass over to Jason if I can. I'll just sort of give a brief intro to the accounts.
Yeah, thank you, Declan, and thank you, Chair, and good afternoon, everybody. So the purpose of this report, and apologies for the length of the report, it is quite significant. So the purpose of the report is to present the Council's 22-23 financial statements for approval, inform the committee of the main areas of the financial statements, and report the key findings from the external audit of the accounts. So good news, the external audit of the accounts has now been completed, and the auditor intends to issue an unqualified opinion later today. A copy of the updated financial statements are attached as Appendix A to the report. Copies of the auditor's findings report for the County Council and the pension fund are attached as Appendices B and C, and copies of the letters of representation attached as Appendices D and E to the report pack. So turning to the report, so the financial statements, they comprise the County Council's accounts, the pension fund accounts, and the annual governance statement. So the Council's accounts, they include a number of primary statements. So if we turn to paragraph 14 on page 6, one of the main statements is the movement in reserve statement, and this shows the in-year movement on the different reserves held by the Council. So these are analysed by usable reserves and unusable. But the usable reserves are those that the Council can use to fund services. They comprise the uncommitted general fund, school balances and earmarked reserves of the Council, and they total 256 million, so similar to the starting position. The largest reserve held is the capital financing reserve. That's held at 111 million, and that's used to fund the Council's approved 4-year capital programme. It's used to manage the timing of when funding is required and is fully committed to fund the 4-year programme. It also reduces the need for and delays the need for borrowing. Paragraph 24 is the balance sheet. So it's usual balance sheet. Net assets of the Council rose during the year to 989 million. Quite a big increase of 500 million was down to the reduction in the pension liability. So the pension liability was particularly affected by, was an improvement due to a change in the discount rate of that reduced the liability by 500 million. So it came down from 576 million deficit to 35 at year end. So quite a big improvement. Paragraph 33 of the report talks about the pension fund accounts, and these show overall net assets were valued at 5.8 billion for the year, and annual investment returns were 44 million. Paragraph 37 of the report takes through the main findings of the external auditors report, and as mentioned earlier, they anticipate issuing an unqualified opinion. We have had some challenges with the audit this year, and that's delayed us slightly. The audit was substantially completed at the end of 2023, but we've had to resolve some issues with external valuations, school, land and buildings. These did result in a reduction, these resulted in some rework of the valuations that resulted in a reduction in value of 2 million overall. But this doesn't affect any of the usable reserves of the council. It's adjusted through the unusable adjustment accounts, so revaluation reserve primarily. Paragraph 44 talks about another adjustment that we had to make. It was a technical adjustment to the pension fund liability. That's been corrected. And paragraph 47 just summarises the pension fund audit report. That received a clean audit. There was no issues raised, no material adjustments required. Paragraphs 50 to 53 cover the auditor's annual report. So this includes a detailed review of the value for money arrangements at the council. These were reported earlier in the year to the Corporate Governance Committee, and overall it was a very positive report with no significant weaknesses reported. And finally, Chair, paragraph 54 recommends that the committee approves the financial statements for 22-23.
Yeah, thank you. It seems a long time ago when I wrote the preface for the 22-23 accounts. It seems a long time, but it was interesting reading the last paragraph that I put in there was Council is on track to meet these challenges because of the forward planning and its excellent track record in delivering savings. Credit must be given to our excellent staff who continue to work under tight budgetary controls, yet still deliver high quality services. I don't think when we do the 23-24, nothing's changed. I think we're still in that position, but we still deliver and we still achieve. And I'd just pick up on the paragraph 53, the auditors overall, the auditor's report positive, concluded the council has a good track record of sound financial management, strong arrangements in place to manage the financial resilient risks, and has a documented governance framework in place that ensures all relevant information is provided and challenged before all major decisions are made. No significant weaknesses have been reported. To me, that says that we're doing a good job. And it was interesting. I mean, I'd just say well done to Jason and Declan. I mean, an unqualified audit with an authority this size is really good and really, well done on that. And once again, these things don't just happen. It's down to hard work. So yeah, thank you. But if I need to, happy to propose.
Thank you. Any comments, Peter?
Yeah, just to reiterate what Lee was saying about the strong financial control in place, which is very, very good to see. Just a really small question on paragraph 46 around seeking contributions from external valuers. What's the likelihood of that actually happening and us recovering some of that additional money for the fees that we had to pay?
It feels one of those that we've just got to give it a go. I mean, they're obviously going to resist in terms of what's in the contract and how, whether we can sort of impose on them the external audit fees. But it feels one of those we've got to try. It feels one of those as well. We've got to flag up to their kind of their regulatory body about the sort of performance that they did deliver for us as well.
Okay, any other questions? I think just to reiterate what Lee said, that to get a positive auditor's report is really good in this climate. I know a lot of other councils are really struggling to get to that point. So well done to everyone involved in that. So the committee is recommended to approve the financial statements for 2022-2023. Are we all happy with that? Thank you very much. Thank you, Jason, for all your work as well. Item 9 is any other items which the chairman has decided to take as urgent. There's no other urgent items, so I'll call the meeting to an end. Thank you.